off. Welcome to the Half a Dozen Hospitality Podcast, the original farmer's daughter. Heather, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. Guys, if you are listening to this podcast on an audio platform, I encourage you to head over to YouTube as well and check out the video, because Heather's been kind enough to invite me and you guys, the viewers, listeners, to her family home here. Where exactly are we on Cape Breton Island right now?
We're in the center of Cape Breton, kind of almost, on the Bedore Lakes.
Okay.
Which is World UNESCO Biosphere.
Yes, I keep driving by that sign. I keep wanting to understand what a biosphere is. We'll get into that in a second. So, so we're in the middle of Cape Breton.
Almost. Yeah,
Almost.
Quite the center. Yeah, I always
Okay.
call Waikagama, where the farmer's daughter is, the center of Cape Breton. But
Can you say that for me again? Because I drive by it. I'm thinking, how do I actually say that?
Waikagama.
Waikagama.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah, so this is the Bedore Lakes right here. I'm right in the Bedore Lakes on Waikagama Bay.
It's stunning.
Yeah.
And you and your family have been here how long?
Our house, I've been home for a little over 4 years now, but this house we moved down 3 years ago to the water. But yeah, so we've been in it this will be the second summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when Heather says moved it down here, give you guys context. We're on, I'm guessing, a couple acres plus here.
We're on 100 acres.
Yeah, so there's a couple plus, and this home, this physical home, was
Half a kilometer. Yeah.
half kilometer up,
Yeah.
and they decided to move it down closer to the water.
We picked it up and moved it down. And it was quite interesting because it's an old house. Earliest date we can see is 1850. So.
Right. Yeah. So it's an old place, and you want to be careful when you're moving something like that, not to disrupt too many things.
Yes, but at the same time, I think the craftsmanship back then was quite better than it can be today. Like there's hand-hewn beams in our basement that are the platform of this house that you can see that are like 1 by 1.
Wow.
So 1 foot by 1 foot.
Amazing. Well, it is actually stunning this morning. We had a bit of a rainstorm last night. It impacted Heather and potentially her animals on the farm as well.
Yeah, I was going to go up and see them before you came. I said nothing I can do if there's any that took a heart attack or something.
So it was interesting for me because I've been away, and again we'll get into my motivation for sitting down with you here this morning. But I've been away from Nova Scotia for the past 15 years and living in BC. And BC just doesn't get the dramatic weather that we get out here. Like thunder and lightning storms don't really happen in downtown Vancouver.
Yeah.
So coming back for me, it was like relearning what that's like again. And last night it was like cracking. It was so loud.
Our house shaked. But you were away. I was away for about 15 years too. Part of it, 7 years in BC and Vancouver Island.
Oh, amazing! I had no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we can get into that. But before we get into that, I want to unpack why I'm here quickly and then get into your story. So I've been away for 15 years. All I know is food and people. That's what I do. That's what I know. It's what I've done since I was 16 years old. And I've now turned that into my business, which is a global consulting business, which I love. And I love and adore all my clients. But coming back to Nova Scotia, I was super intrigued to sit down with people like you who are in it and have seen it and are doing it, and help me understand what has gone on here in this incredible province, and right now Cape Breton specifically, in the past 15 years. Like, what has been going on, what is currently going on, and where do you see it going? So you are the owner operator of the Farmer's Daughter, which I think probably is a bit of an institution here on Cape Breton Island. No?
In Cape Breton, Nova Scotia too. So
yeah.
When I go away a lot, people think of what they know about Nova Scotia and stores, and lots of times it's Wheaton's, the Peggy's Cove store, Masstown Market, and the Farmer's Daughter.
Yeah. So what is it like? What is it like being part of that? Being part of that kind of, I guess, nostalgia, or part of that allure of, like, if you're in this part of Nova Scotia, you have to stop into Farmer's Daughter.
It's sometimes a little overwhelming. In the past 3 years, our popularity has grown because of a campaign we did 4 years ago.
Right.
Advertising, people come work for us for 5 years and they get free land. So.
And can we unpack that a bit? Where did that idea come from? Was that a marketing play, or was that just a sincere olive branch and like, hey guys, we need help because we're growing, and what we can offer you is dirt?
It was very sincere. We were actually struggling. It was the summer, and 2016.
Okay.
And we had mostly students getting us through, and they were getting ready to leave in the fall, and we had no idea what we're going to do to keep the store open because of staffing. Because in Cape Breton, especially with our fall colors, we're popular. We're busy up until about the third week of October.
Nice.
And that's comparable to the summer. So we were panicking. We decided to put job posts out all over Canada.
Right.
And saying Cape Breton's pretty, like come live here, work for us. But
Yeah.
we didn't get any bites on that. So my sister was there. We just need to if we could show people how great Cape Breton is.
Right.
If there's some way that we could show them how great Cape Breton is, and they'd fall in love with it. So we wrote up this really, really, really long Facebook post. It's probably about a 5-minute read.
Okay.
And so it was very wordy, but we took pictures, lots of our own pictures.
Okay.
There's probably about 15 to 20 of them, and put it on the post as well.
Right.
Kind of describing what Cape Breton was all about. If you like kitchen parties and Kayleys and walks on the beach and hikes through our woods, like the really what Cape Breton's all about, nature.
Mm-hmm.
And in that we have a lot of land. My grandfather was not a rich man at all. And it's kind of amazing that he did it, but he was good at acquiring land.
Okay.
So I am, like you said, the farmer's daughter. I am a farmer's daughter. I grew up on a large dairy farm.
Mm-hmm.
Which is about 25 minutes from where we are right now.
Okay.
In the Sky Glen.
Okay.
And it was something that he was a farmer. My dad took it over, but we didn't. But we have this 100 acres of woodland on top of a mountain, Campbell's Mountain, and it's good for logging, which is not something we want to do.
Right.
So it's kind of just sitting there. It's if you were to put power, it's on a listed road.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone wants to live there, it would be plowed and everything. But to get power up there, it'd be very, very, very expensive.
Okay.
So, which in the article we said, if you get this free land, at the beginning it was 2 acres, but then our lawyer said it had to be 3 acres, or we'd have to subdivide because you need 3 acres to put a septic field on.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
So that it would be off the grid.
Right.
Yeah. So we were surprised. We did this write-up, and we posted it on a Sunday evening at around 10 o'clock. And I even joked that maybe we should pay the Facebook ad.
Right, like the $100 or whatever it was at the time.
Yeah, and because it looked really good. We got a few people to read it and said, that's amazing. So my sister put it on. And she said, no, let's see what happens. And I shared it. She shared it. We woke up in the morning, and it had been shared I don't know how many times already.
That's so cool.
Like probably 1,000.
Oh my gosh,
just
really?
Since 10 o'clock the night before. And all of people we were getting tagged on all these posts, like the radio station, I forget which one it was in Halifax, was saying, would you guys move to Cape Breton, for free land? Like it was like, okay. And all people said, we'd move there for the farmer's daughter.
That's amazing.
Like joking.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. But and then in the end it was we have almost 400,000 applications to come work for us.
Oh my gosh! So because when I was emailing you in regards to setting up this this interview, there was a bounce back email and it said something about the 2016 due to the influx of inquiries in 2016.
Yeah, it's still going around the world, and it's neat. We still get it. All of a sudden, I get picked up in another country. Yeah. I've done interviews all over the world. Ireland, Britain, South Africa.
What is it like for you to do something? And this is what I think is so cool about the world we live in today. And there's pros and cons to social media, and we can do a whole podcast on that alone.
Yeah.
But what was it like for you to do something that seemingly is so simple and innocent? And feel free to jump in here, but I'm assuming you didn't expect for it to catch on the way it caught on and get the response that it got.
No, I didn't.
So what is that like to be in what from a worldview would be a small town in Nova Scotia, at your computer one night, trying to figure out a way to solve a problem with your business, and then all of a sudden it becomes this worldly news that people are wanting to reach out and talk to you about? Like, what was that like for you? Was it a bit?
It was overwhelming.
Yeah, I was gonna say
It was not
overwhelming?
expected. It ended up becoming a full-time job.
Yeah, just to be telling that story,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and we got 3 people within a few weeks.
Okay.
All actually, all from BC.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, and I guess we could always talk about that. You being from BC, me being from
Yeah,
BC.
yeah. Let's get into
and
that.
a lot of people, most of our applications were from BC, and other parts of the world. But in Canada, I'd say that most, probably, if you looked at the Canadian applications, probably about 80%.
I think
from
there's.
BC.
I think for me, and I'd love to hear your BC story here. But for me, when I decided to make the move to Vancouver, I was actually moving from London, England. I was living overseas for 2 years after I finished school, and I knew that I wanted to see more of our country, but I knew that I also wanted to be by the water. So, no hate towards Alberta or Ontario or Manitoba or any other provinces. I knew I wanted to be on the coast, so BC was a natural fit for me. What brought you to BC? Why were you there, if you don't mind me asking?
My husband's
oh, right, in the Navy.
In the Navy.
Oh, so he was stationed in Victoria.
Yeah, in Esquimalt there.
Oh,
yeah.
wow, awesome. What was that like for you?
I had 2 postings there. So,
Okay.
I love Victoria.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
It's very, very beautiful. And some days I wish I was still there. I like the weather there.
Yeah, the weather is amazing.
But and I had some good friends, and especially being there twice. But this property here, you see how beautiful it is.
It is. I keep saying stunning, but it as my word to describe my few days I've been here so far on the island, and it is like this is. I mean, this is a world-class property.
Yeah,
with a
and when you
world-class view.
and people always stop at the top of our driveway there and take pictures because you can see right to the valley of
Oh,
Lake Hogama.
I was recording a video
Yeah.
the whole way down. I got the sheep in the video. I got the view. Yeah, it was
so
stunning.
this property, so we had a postage stamp in Langford, BC.
Okay.
Postage stamp.
Yeah.
A beautiful house backing on a ravine because
Right.
I'm from the country.
You like the water?
I'm from the country, and we're near
Yeah.
Florence Lake and everything. So this property here, it's 100 acres, 750 feet of water frontage on the Bador Lakes, which is an inland sea. So
Yeah.
I could go to Halifax by boat if
Right.
I wanted to. And it had barns and a house. This house here,
Yeah.
it was functional, and I paid $200,000 for it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Those numbers, it just for people that don't understand real estate and price per square foot on the East Coast, if you do want to come and set up a business or set up your family, there's so much opportunity here right now. It's still so untouched. And that's something I've been thinking as I've been driving all over this part of Nova Scotia is it is still so untouched and there's so much beauty here. But I wonder, is there hesitation for us, meaning you and I and others that have these platforms through your business, me through my business and this podcast, is there hesitation to like kind of keep it to ourselves a bit?
There is. Like I got some when we did that post and it went viral, and people said, when are the TV show things coming?
Right.
And they did. We got 10 offers for reality TV.
Are you serious?
We did. And eventually we did sign with a producer out of New York, the same
okay.
ones that do Alaska, The Last Frontier.
Yeah, yeah.
But I kept producer rights,
Oh,
which
okay.
a lot of people weren't, and I fought for that.
Yeah.
But because my big thing was I did not want to be responsible. Like, this is the thing you talk about. It's overwhelming. It's stressful.
Yeah.
I did not want to be the person responsible for if Cape Breton was going to be perceived in a negative way.
Right.
I did not want that on my
Right.
shoulders.
Yeah,
so
not
I
at
want
all.
a final say of what was going to be going on air.
Right.
And in the end, I think that we didn't happen. And that could have been great for Cape Breton.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. I was doing it by myself, too. I did not want, I wish people I had more help with that, and maybe more people had jumped in to help me with that, because they were pushy too, because they wanted it. Why the momentum was going?
Oh yeah,
too, right?
while it's still like hot, the 15-minute of fame kind of
Yeah,
thing.
like NBC wanted us, but they wanted to run the ad again, and I said no. Well, like heaven knows what kind of people sending to Cape Breton.
Yeah, exactly. And then, like
to
you
put
said,
on the show,
for you to be responsible for that, that's difficult. That could be very tough for you personally, your family, and then your brand as well. Like, how does that impact the business?
So I was, in the end, it didn't happen because a lot of networks did not want,
to give that up.
To have
They wanted the final say. They wanted to be able to cut the stuff they wanted to cut.
Yeah,
and add the drama they wanted to add.
Yeah, and if I said no, like they didn't want.
Yeah, that'd be very
I would have
difficult.
let some drama, but
yeah, some drama is good.
I just did not want them portraying Cape Bretoners as I didn't know what they had in their vision. So, and I wanted it to be true to what Cape Breton people really are.
Yeah, and
so we're very proud people. Like you don't ever hear we're from Nova Scotia. We say we're from Cape Breton.
No, you know what? And I actually, I'm learning that and relearning that, and that's something I actually think, and I'm very happy and I'm proud of you that you say that and you believe that and you feel that, because I think as a province, if I can say the province-wide, including Cape Breton, we need to do more of that. So I think people like you need to get on the soapbox even more and say like, hey guys, what we're doing is special. Hey guys, what we're doing is awesome. Hey guys, what we're doing is world class. Yeah. Because I think what may be holding us back a bit is our apologetic ways.
Yeah.
And I think we need to become more unapologetic and say like, no, like this is the best in the world. This is world class. And I think when we do that, get more comfortable with that, we will start experiencing more growth, more abundance, but the right kind, not the kind that's forced from a producer in New York. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm happy to hear you say that.
Especially, our number one export right now is people.
Yeah.
Which is sad. And I think that's something we portrayed in our post too, was that, we talk about, education,
mm-hmm.
and we into our children. You got to go to university. You got to go to university. You got to go to university. Because in those jobs usually take you away.
Yeah, true.
Where there's so much opportunity here in Cape Breton, and a lot of people from around the world and Canada are noticing the opportunity that's here in Cape Breton.
Mm-hmm.
We have lots of young families moving here and starting a new, farming.
Yeah, which is, oh my God, we need more farmers in this country, right?
And small farms, that we're getting back to our roots, getting back to what we used to be, being self-sustaining.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's great. And I think that's a new tourist industry that's opening up here in Cape Breton.
Yeah, for sure.
We got the Cape Breton Food Hub.
Yeah.
Where farm to table is becoming huge, and we are getting more and more of that there. So the culinary experiences that are happening in Cape Breton now
mm-hmm.
are pretty incredible.
Yeah, no, I think, and this is the reason why this show exists. This is the reason why I'm here and spending time and investing my time into this. Is food is so hot right now.
It is.
Look at Netflix. You look at YouTube. You look at all these platforms, and I know buddies of mine that have never been into food are now trying cooking, and they're going to farmers markets, and they're doing these things because they're seeing it on Netflix or wherever it is. So yeah, food and the culinary arts are, I think, finally getting the attention they deserve, and people are seeing there's so much value in things like storytelling and understanding what goes on at the Farmer's Daughter and why the menu looks the way it does and all of these things. Like there's so much.
Yeah, we just changed our menu.
Oh, did you? There's so much value in that. So let's change speeds just a little bit and talk specifically about the Farmer's Daughter. I was lucky enough on my way into Cape Breton to stop off, and I had two, I'm going to call them like buns or
Flora buns.
What are they called?
Flora buns.
Flora buns.
After my grandmother, yeah.
Oh, amazing. So I'll let you describe them. I'll do my version of the description first. So they look like really exquisite, premium, almost like a high-end Hot Pocket, but like a really delicious one.
Well, that's what, yeah.
So I purchased, because being away, I haven't had in a long time the flavors of what a donair is. If you guys don't know what donair is, look it up. So I had the donair one and then the barbecue beef, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just...
We keep experimenting with them.
I was truly enjoying it as I was finishing my drive into Bedeck. So unpack what is... who is Flora, why that bun exists, and then everything else that is the Farmer's Daughter, because it's not just food. There's a whole other part of what it is. So unpack for me and the listeners what the Farmer's Daughter is, why it exists, and why you do what you do.
So the Farmer's Daughter it opened 27 years ago in September. It was 27, yeah.
Wow.
27 now. Yeah.
Congratulations.
1992.
We got
1992.
We got an anniversary coming up here pretty soon.
We do. 1992, the year I graduated from high school.
Wow.
I'm the oldest of 5 children.
Okay.
So there's 4 daughters.
Yeah.
And I grew up on a dairy farm.
Yeah.
like I think I mentioned that before, just about 10 kilometers out from where the farmer's daughter is. My parents, free trade was starting then.
Okay.
So my parents were worried about the future of the dairy farming in Nova Scotia and Canada. So they tried to diversify. So it started as it was going to be just a farm stand.
Okay. It's not that now for those of you that aren't here.
It's not. You can actually see we kept adding on. My dad and mom are very ambitious and they kept adding on.
Good for them.
And so we did start. It was just, we had cases around the first footprint of the store, which was just fresh fruits and vegetables. And then my grandmother Hare, Flo Hare.
Yeah.
She was a very good cook and baker. Like everyone in Cape Breton knew who she was.
Okay.
And so she started baking stuff to sell there too.
Yeah.
And so then we opened a bakery pretty much right away in there. Like it just didn't start right away. First it was hers, and we're waiting to get all the stuff for our bakery.
Yeah.
Where we just did mostly breads and some cookies and a few pies. All where we rolled everything out with a rolling pin.
Oh my gosh.
And it was a very small bakery. So that's pretty much what it was. And then it kept growing and growing. We added a greenhouse, which eventually the greenhouse turned into a gift shop.
Right.
Then we added a second story onto the gift shop. And then we had another greenhouse. We expanded our bakery. We added a lunchroom.
Man.
We have ice cream and fudge. And our bakery, we're very famous for oat cakes.
Oh, I have to try them because my wife is an oat cake freak. I don't know if you experienced this, but being in BC, you can't find an oat cake.
No,
they don't exist.
No,
so coming back home, I was like, you have to try oat cakes. She's a big oatmeal fan, so she's been really into oat cakes. And I think I saw them. They're square in the package, right?
Yeah.
I'll take some back.
And they're thinner oat cakes, and oat cakes and our bread. Our bread we've been doing amazing with our bread, and we're from scratch bakery.
Amazing.
So. We try to have consistency, but because we're from a scratch baker and we have many different bakeries, sometimes things look a little different from each other's. But I think people try to convince us to get pre-made mixes and everything. But I think what makes us unique, and I want to stay true to how my grandmother made, like a lot of the recipes are my great grandmother Hare's. Getting to the flora buns, both my grandmothers were Flo, but my grandmother Austin, her name was Flora, and Flo.
Right.
So we decided to name she was really good at biscuits.
Oh, okay.
And I miss my grandma's biscuits greatly, but the Flora bun, which we refer to it as a gourmet pizza pocket.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like I said, it was an exquisite pizza pocket.
Which is just like bread dough,
and
we put fillings in it, all again from scratch.
Amazing.
And which that started that. We do lots of frozen foods too.
Okay.
Like our frozen turkey pie, which you take home, we do it from scratch, but it's like your turkey dinner in a pie. We have dressing and cranberries and your turkey and your vegetables, everything in it.
Thanksgiving in a little pocket.
And those are really popular with us. Our oatmeal bread, we can barely keep that on the shelf. I had a person from Newfoundland today asking me, "Can you send me your molasses biscuits?" I had people from Texas emailing me, can you send us down our oat cakes? We can't get there this summer.
What is it like? What is it like for you? And I was super intrigued to ask you this question because I as an outsider who's only just kind of been exposed to your brand and to the business, I'm making stories up in my head on the growth that you've had, but it seems like you've had exponential growth as you talk about what you've added on to the physical space and adding levels to the gift shop and putting on another greenhouse and doing all those things.
Yeah, and clothing now. We do clothing now too.
Clothing. Yeah, I saw on your social media you guys do that as well. How do you, especially as the one that's, I'll say for lack of a better term, like driving the bus, the leader of this business, the one that's kind of setting the tone, how do you hang on to that je ne sais quoi that is the farmer's daughter and still facilitate growth? Because before you answer the question, I've seen so many businesses that have success and then maybe they open up new locations or they expand their original location and something changes with what it feels like. It's not tangible. You and I can't see it or touch it.
And I can see that, yeah.
So how...
With some stores here.
Yeah, so what have you done, and has it been conscious or subconscious for you to ensure that people's experience of the farmer's daughter 27 years ago, or even 10 years ago, is the same as it is today?
None of it's been conscious. We have looked at it expanding. But we're still trying to get, even after 27 years, the farmer's daughter running like a smooth machine, which does not happen. It does not, until we get it running like smooth. we're not ready to expand.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that is a problem, that people jump too quickly, because this is 27 years,
And you're still waiting for it to be right to
be
jump.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be right. And because the growth we've had ideas for a store, and more from customers walking in the door and seeing what they want.
Okay.
And that's kind of like, people ask, too bad you didn't have this or doing that, and that gets their ideas running.
Right.
And then just maintain what we have there.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 managers that work for me, but I oversee everything. And I don't think people understand exactly how busy I am, because I am overseeing a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
I'm overseeing a bakery. I'm overseeing a gourmet food shop.
Right.
I'm overseeing a gift barn, like a gift store, and a
like
clothing store.
A retail business on top of it all.
So it's just like where most people just focus on one of those things.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, we are a destination.
Mm-hmm.
And we are an experience too. We have this one family that comes from Elmsdale near Halifax every year for their Christmas tree.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah, because there's lots of places in between that they could go get their Christmas tree. But
for sure.
They can come here, buy some Christmas presents, get their Christmas tree, have a nice lunch, and take some baking home and treats for the car.
Yeah. How cool is that for you to be part of a family history, part of a family tradition?
It's pretty cool, and that's what we want to keep that, and
Right.
we don't want to, they're probably, people ask us to franchise and things like that.
Yeah,
but
sure.
It's just, we need to keep, like I said, we don't have it running exactly. It's a lot of work.
So do you,
and to keep it what it is, it would take, I work a lot of hours.
Yeah, I bet.
And I'm not at the store so much anymore, because I have 2 managers, because there's a lot of behind the scenes.
Right.
Things like payroll and
the admin side of things.
The admin is huge, because it is a bunch of different
businesses within a business.
And I prefer to be there.
Oh, I bet.
Especially my dad. My dad's there still a lot.
I think I saw your dad the other day. He was walking around helping people behind the cash and stuff.
And he's so he's he doesn't need to be there as much as he is, but he feels he has to be, and he enjoys talking and meeting with the people.
I bet.
And it's interesting how people talk about Farmer Jim, and they met the farmer.
They met the farmer that has the daughter. Let's take a quick break. We're going to reset the cameras and come back and learn more about the farmer's daughter, the growth, and then I want for Heather to answer the one question that I've been asking every guest so far on this trip. So stay tuned, guys. Be right back. Okay, we are back off the mic. We were just talking about how the team at the Farmer's Daughter has been able to weather the storm, if you will, through this challenging time. And I don't want for this interaction or for my interactions this week to be all about COVID. I think it's important to speak to it, but I don't think it's going to define us. It will be something that we remember as we move forward. But you were saying, and if you're open to sharing, that yes, certain aspects of the business are feeling a bit of a pinch, but certain aspects are up a lot.
Yeah. And I was saying that when you were talking earlier, about people getting into food and everything, that COVID has really enticed people to be home cooking and having those gourmet meals and doing it themselves. Or they're eating, that's their thing to do.
Yeah.
That's what they go out to do, or that's what they want to take out to take home.
Yeah.
So our food, our bakery, our bread sales are up probably about 50% over last year. Although our bread's becoming more well known too, because it's very delicious.
Yeah. So what would be? I'm a bit of a bread freak. Can we talk about what you have as far as options? You mentioned the oatmeal bread, which I'm definitely going to grab some on my way out of town. Yeah. So oatmeal bread, and what else?
Our white bread is our big. So our white and our oatmeal are our biggest sellers.
Okay.
And then we have a multigrain, which is sugar free.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we don't add sugar. There's probably natural sugars in the wheat, the grains.
Yeah.
Which is my favorite.
Okay.
And that does very well. And then we have our raisin bread.
Oh, something about Nova Scotia and raisin bread is just so good.
Yeah.
Toasted with some butter on it.
Yeah, and amazing. I have lots of other ideas. Like you talk about growth, but like I said, we just need to manage what we're doing right now before I can expand.
Right. So let's quickly talk about that. Then you mentioned and used the word smooth a few times. Is that something that you can see and measure in the business, or is it something you feel? So when it comes a time for a farmer's daughter to grow, maybe that will come, maybe it won't, maybe it'll just always be what it is, which is fantastic. But when you say smooth, how do you measure that? How do you define that?
It's a feeling,
Okay.
it's just like, keeping the store as clean as you want it, or
Right.
keeping the staff schedules and stuff. We're on a great schedule system right now that our employees like, and
Mhm.
and it seems to be we are moving smoother than we were like 2-3 years ago.
Right.
We do 3 days on, 3 days off, 12-hour shifts now.
Oh, wow. Which is kind of not the regular thing in
No.
hospitality.
And we did it few winters ago, and my staff asked could we do that in the summer too? They love their 3 days off.
Yeah.
And and they look at it like working from to 5 o'clock. They come home, make supper, they go to bed.
Yeah. They have a
They're
life.
done.
Yeah.
They're done. So now they have their 3 days off. So we modified our hours a little bit. We used to close at 9. Now we close between 7 and 8.
Okay.
Just so we can maintain those 12-hour shifts,
Right.
and keep my employees happy. And
That's so important. And I think a lot of people, what you just said, need to hear that, because and feel free to agree or disagree. But if your employees if that part of your machine isn't running well, like your machine's going to break down real quick.
And it is like scheduling 3 summers ago was a nightmare. And I had actually about 40 employees on.
Oh my gosh.
And now I'm at about 30.
But you're running it smarter.
But I have 12-hour shifts.
Right.
I pair everybody off, so if they can't make it in or want to switch shifts, they have their buddy that works the opposite 3 days off of them. So they do all the managing themselves. I've done it with my students. They have shorter shifts.
Okay.
But 3 days on, 3 days off. So they like having their 3 days off in the summer.
How did you come to that? Was it like a book you read, or did it just come to you?
It just came to me. Like I was just trying to do the winter schedule, and I didn't have any more employees. And I said, hey, we close earlier in the winter because in Cape Breton, as soon as it's dark, not much happens. In the summer, a lot happens, but in the winter, no.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a ghost town, so we close at 6.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
And we were opening at 7, so people were starting at 6:30, and so if we close at 6, they'd be working to 6:37. So I was looking at 12 hours, but to give people full-time hours doing just 7.5-hour shifts, it was just really hard. So I just said, you know what, nurses do 12-hour shifts.
Yeah.
And so I brought it up to and they said, that's a great idea. And
That's
they
so
liked
cool.
it so much, they asked if it was any way that we could do it through the summer. And it's been going like that ever since. And so everybody's buddied up with somebody. And because some people don't work together ever.
Right.
Unless they're switching shifts.
Yeah.
But it's made... That part is made, like scheduling has been way smoother. Just if people take vacations, that's when it gets a little tricky.
Right. Yeah, you got to do a little bit of a balancing act there.
Yeah, and we have to give someone they have an extra shift. And
but it's working.
It is working, and it has been making the farmer's daughter run smoothly. And I don't spend, or my managers don't spend as much time scheduling anymore.
That's nice. That's nice.
And people know their schedules all the time. They know that they're not waiting for the schedule to ever come out,
so they can
plan their life.
Yeah, I was gonna say, which is again synonymous with our industry is you're waiting till Sunday or Monday to find out what your week ahead is, and just like that's not a way to live your life.
They know they work 3 days on, 3 days off.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
so cool, and that gives you, like you said, it gives you that smoothness that you're looking for in your business. The one question, it's not really a question, it's a sentence that I'm asking the guests on this show to finish for me as I come back to Nova Scotia to call it home again, but also explore Cape Breton and better understand it. So I'm wondering, Heather, if you can finish this sentence for me. Cape Breton is blank.
It is an outdoor enthusiast foodie paradise.
Oh, I like that. That should be on a t-shirt somewhere, or maybe on a billboard somewhere. That's awesome.
I think, we have lots of food-orientated businesses opening up. We have breweries, cideries, wineries. We have all the more farmers markets becoming bigger and more popular, more farms opening up here. I have ideas for growth for the farmer's daughter I have not been able to get to, but
but you will
hopefully in this property here. That kind of, how the Okanagan is in BC.
Yeah.
A destination for wineries and stuff, and Cape Breton's becoming that destination for food and wine.
Yeah, it is
and food, wine, beer. You know, like it's not much wine, but
the
breweries,
beer,
the breweries.
craft brewery here. Yeah,
we got Big Spruce just down the road from
yeah.
us.
Shout out
Route
Big Spruce.
19.
Yeah,
Breton Brewing.
Brewing.
We got a new cider place opened up in Sydney. You know, I got other ones I know more opening up soon.
That's fantastic.
That people are working on.
What is it like for you as someone that's been running a business successfully for so long, and then seeing new businesses pop up? Are you quick to, as busy as you are you quick to like reach out and be like, hey guys, welcome to the economy, thank you so much for being here, like if you need anything let us know? Or do you find that people are kind of in their own silos within this part of the province and within this industry? Or is it like, hey guys, if you need anything let me know? Is there that kind of communication or no?
There's some of it.
Yeah.
Like I belong to the Straight Chamber. I'm on the board there, so I try to get involved there.
Yeah.
And I there's lots of, like with the Cape Breton partnership.
Yep.
I belong to that organization, and they're great for helping businesses out. So we have a lot of there's a lot of resources here in Cape Breton to help you with your businesses and help out. We are all very busy.
Yes. Yeah.
With our businesses. We're busy in the summers. Crazy busy because that's our peak time, but then we're crazy the rest of the year getting ready
to plan for the next summer. Yeah.
To plan. But for myself, if people approach me, or if I hear like when Big Spruce, I try to carry only, like I did start with just only the local beer and everything.
Right.
Some of I do have some Keith's and Bud Light in there now because we became licensed a few years ago.
Oh, okay.
But my main goal is to have, first it was Nova Scotia, but now I got a Cape Breton cidery that I'm going to get in.
Yeah, that's
so
fantastic.
I'll just have it was always Nova Scotia cider.
Yeah.
Like I always have, I have Breton Brewing, I have Route 19, and I have Big Spruce, and those are front and center.
Yeah.
And then I was always having No Boats on Sunday, and
okay.
I think those trying to keep local. My big thing is to support local as much as I can because I want people to support me.
Yeah, I think it's also very admirable of you and very aware of you. You recognize that you have a platform that you can help lift others. Pardon me, and I've said it on this podcast many times. A rising tide lifts all ships. So it only benefits you when Big Spruce is busier, right? And it only benefits them when you're busier. So it's nice to see like, hey guys, how can we work together?
Yeah.
If it means putting your beer so people see it, or having it on our menu, or putting up a sign, whatever it may be. I think that's so great, and such a sense of community, and such a sense of like, hey, I've got your back, you've got my back.
Well, the more businesses here, the more people are going to come. We're already at capacity most summers,
Right.
So there is there's so much more opportunity for more accommodations, more businesses here.
Yeah, the economy can grow a lot here. In Cape Breton and in Four Seasons too, like right now our summers and our falls are really big, but our winters are coming bigger with the snowshoeing, the snowmobiling, the winter hikes, and it's beautiful here, in the winter too. It's chilly, but it's beautiful.
It is. That's the big thing you trade off from BC to
exactly.
like to Vancouver, Victoria. But that's sometimes I do miss. Like I used to live there, and like it'd be February, and I'd show all the dogwoods blooming.
Yeah,
I miss that.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely miss wearing a shorts and a t-shirt. Like I think it was, we moved to Nova Scotia on April 23rd. And a few weeks before that, we were walking our young kids with T-shirts on and shorts on. And then we came to Nova Scotia, and we do a family walk every day that we can. And we went for a walk in the snow in May in Nova Scotia. So my wife was like, where did you just move me to? But we're making it work. And it has
my kids sometimes, because they grew up a little bit here, but mostly in BC and in Kingston, Ontario.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes they go, Mom. My daughter, she loves Cape Breton, and she doesn't ever want to leave. And,
oh, good.
And she's in carpentry now.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, she just graduated from
amazing
carpentry school. So
a proud mom and her daughter doing her thing. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Before I let you go officially, Heather, because I know, like you said, you are busy. You're running multiple businesses within one business and leading your team. I have two questions that I do ask every guest that has ever been on this show, and those two questions are these. The show is called the Half a Dozen Hospitality Podcast. So I have for you, Heather, the half a dozen have-tos. Stay with me here as the wind picks up. I need from you one thing or 6 things that you've done in your life that you feel like our listeners have to do. A trip you've taken, a meal you've eaten, can be food related or not, a book you've read, a concert you've been to, a piece of art you stared at. What would be 1 to 6 of the farmer's daughters have to, something you experienced in your life that you feel like our listeners have to experience?
Last year I went and I sailed the Greek islands.
Oh my gosh. How was that?
Well, I did it on a Wild Women expedition, which is a Canadian company actually that just sells vacations to women. So I went by myself. Amazing. It was just recharging for me.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah,
gorgeous part of the world.
It was, and it was all women, and we had a female skipper, a female cook, and there was 2 people from Miami and 2 from Ontario and me.
So cool.
That we hadn't met before, and that was just. If people can't believe I did it, I went by myself.
That's awesome.
It was a last minute trip. I just needed to recharge.
Good for you.
One of my favorite places to eat I've ever eaten is actually here in Cape Breton.
Okay.
And it's the Black Spoon Bistro.
Oh, amazing.
In North Sydney.
I actually reached out to them. I'm forgetting their names right now, but I think we're due to get together either tomorrow or Friday for a podcast.
And I've been all over the world. You know, my husband's in the military, and I've traveled to Italy and China and all over the States. And being a military spouse, I've lived and I've done many, many trips across those countries. So that's another trip you got to do.
Across the country, yeah.
Yeah. And we've done it a few times. So I actually sometimes go down to the States too, and we kept going. I try to see different places all the time.
Yeah.
What were your other questions?
No, that was it. So those are you can do 1 or 6 items. I mean, those were 2 fantastic ones. The if you don't have any more, have 2.
Art.
Oh, okay.
We have a wonderful First Nation artist here in Waikagama, Loretta Gould.
Loretta Gould.
Yeah, Gould.
Gould.
And you need to check out. She has eye-popping. Just I can't get over how talented she is.
Oh, amazing! I'll have to check her out. I'll put her in our show notes as well.
Yeah, she's
Loretta Gould.
Yeah,
okay.
We're very lucky to have her in the community.
What kind of art?
I want to get her. It's First Nation art, but it's just bright and bold and.
So she's painting
crisp.
or sculpting or
painting.
Okay.
Painting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's passing those traditions on to her children too. So
amazing.
You need to check out her stuff. I want to get a piece in my house. There's another artist in Newfoundland. I can't think of his. I know it's just I'm having a brain fart right now.
You can email it to me and we'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah,
that's something as well that I've been so impressed with. Just in Cape Breton alone, the amount of artists and artisans that live just on this island.
Yeah,
and they're so talented.
There is, yeah. That's what I want to get into too. I have my sheep here on my farm, which I'm raising for fiber, which I plan to spin myself.
Amazing.
And so I'm gonna.
So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, stay tuned for that. My stuff, my carding machine, and all that's all coming. I've ordered.
Oh, this is like really happening. Good for you.
It's really happening. In my spare time.
Yeah, exactly. All the spare time that you have. That might segue great into my last question, which is the half a dozen haven't yet. So 1 to 6 items, kind of like a bucket list, if you will. So what would be 1 to 6 items of Heather's haven't yet? So you haven't yet spun that fiber yet?
No, I haven't. I have to still wash it and card it and spin it.
Right.
And sell it.
Yeah, so that's one thing.
Start making money on my sheep.
Is there anything else? You mentioned getting the farmer's daughter running smoother. Is there anything else with the business?
And growth there would be to, I look at expanding it. I have this wonderful pool of people that want to work for me and want to live in Cape Breton.
Right.
And it'd be great to do that. Right now, the farmer's daughter has brought, I think, 32 people now to Cape Breton.
Gosh.
Yeah, so
that's amazing.
We lose a lot of people, but I'm trying to bring people back. And that's what I think before I mentioned, some people weren't happy, about people, and they go, we don't want all these people here. I said, we're huge. Cape Breton is a big place.
There's a lot of space as I look here.
If 100 people come, you're not going to notice.
Yeah.
But the businesses might.
Yes.
So those people working in my store are more people shopping at the grocery store, which means maybe more people are going to have to be hired. More people buying gas in our community.
Yeah.
more people going to the events that are happening at our waterfront center,
Exactly.
or our Thursday night Kayleys. And
I think if anything, and you've kind of alluded to this, is for many, many years we've been seeing in Nova Scotia a deficit in our people leaving to go do different things, whether it's education or careers. But I think what you're also seeing now, and thanks to businesses like yourself, what you guys are doing at Farmer's Daughter, is we're seeing people come back. I mean, I came
lifestyle.
back. Yeah, I came back
Yeah.
with my 2 young kids, with my partner, because lifestyle, like you said, we have family here. We did Note West, so it made sense for us to be closer to family. And I mean, like you talked about the number that you paid for this property.
This would be probably $4 or $5 million.
Oh, easy, easy.
And I paid $200,000.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
I sold my house there and paid cash for this. So.
Yeah, there you go. Not many people can do that. Is there anything else that you wanted to share while we have the time? We have captive audience, whether it is an inspiring word or advice, or a word of like why people should come to Cape Breton. What is it? You already told what it is for you, but why should people, in your words, come to Cape Breton? What's so unique about this space?
Our people.
Yeah.
Our people are very unique.
Mm-hmm.
We have very loyal people, very welcoming people here. We have 4 distinct seasons.
Yes.
You don't get those 4 distinct seasons in BC.
Yeah.
But we have the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
We have affordable living here. People here can have a nice life on $40,000 a year.
Yeah.
They can have a comfortable life.
Yeah.
You're in poverty in other parts of the country.
Yeah.
With that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit of a slower pace here.
For sure.
You can slow down and smell the roses, as sometimes people say. And we do have roses here.
Yeah, there are roses. Yeah.
Lots of wild roses.
Yeah.
And if you're looking at, I think that's one big thing that we noticed when we did our post 4 years ago, was that people really want the lifestyle of Cape Breton.
Right.
And that's really what we showed in our post, is the kind of living. We have West Mabou Beach is my most favorite spot in the whole world.
Oh, okay.
And it's about a kilometer long or longer,
Mm-hmm.
sandy beach.
Beautiful.
With cliffs. Like the scenery there is amazing. And I can go there sometimes in an evening just to reflect and go for a walk and just clear my mind, and I'm the only person on there. Where in the world could you have that much beauty all to yourself?
Yeah.
And there's lots of spots like that here
Yeah.
in Cape Breton Island that you can really, if people aren't into meditating, because some people say, it's like yoga or meditate or anything, just that, but that's a type of meditation.
That's solitude,
Yeah, that you're just reflecting, you get your own thoughts, it clears you, you get the waves, listening to the waves, or the salt air, the wind going through your hair.
Yeah, I talked about this yesterday on the show. Biophilia. I don't know if I heard that term before.
No.
Biophilia is the science of re-earthing, and they talk about how important it is to do things like that, like get in the ocean, take your socks and your shoes off, and feel the earth with your feet, and have the salt air. All those things. It's so easy to do here in Cape Breton.
You can pretty much anywhere in Cape Breton.
Yeah,
because we have the inland sea in the center of Cape Breton
Mm-hmm.
Island. There's lots of lakes.
But even the going in and immersing yourself in the trees as well, which you can do, and that's something that I am really noticing, is how different the terroir is here. You have this beautiful farmland like we're on right now, and then we have the water right there, but then we have this amazing coastline on the ocean as well. Like we literally are gifted with such beautiful land here.
We got everything here.
Yeah, we do.
We're the one package.
We are the one package. That's a great place to end it. I want to say thank you so much for holding space for me and the listeners, Heather. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciated learning more. I'm sure we could have done another 3 or 4 hours just unpacking what the Farmer's Daughter is. But I encourage you guys, if you don't already, look out the Farmer's Daughter. Follow them on social media. They can find Farmer's Daughter at
the Farmer's Daughter Country Market it's on Facebook and Instagram.
Perfect.
We're on there. It's Farmer's Daughter Country, I think, on Instagram.
Yeah.
Our website, www.thefarmersdaughtercountrymarket.ca or .com. We got both of those.
Nice. Smart.
My sister has done the website for us, so that's all to her.
Awesome.
So all the daughters are still kind of involved in some.
Oh, that's so great. And if you guys are coming through Cape Breton, please do stop by the Farmer's Daughter. Say hi to Heather and her team. And Jim is your dad?
Yep.
and Farmer Jim, if he's there, say hello. And thank them for doing what they do. Grab yourself a Flora bun because they're delicious.
And our oat cakes.
And the oat cakes.
Grab a loaf of bread.
Grab a loaf of bread as well. And then head into the retail shop and buy a bunch of stuff in there as well.
And then take that turkey pie home to cook in your oven.
We just gave you guys a lot of homework to do when you go to the Farmer's Daughter, but you guys can do it. That's it from me, guys. That is Heather. I am Brad. This is the Half a Dozen Hospitality Podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in as you do week after week. If it wasn't for you, this show wouldn't exist. If it wasn't for all of Heather's amazing staff and amazing customers, the Farmer's Daughter wouldn't exist.
That's very true.
So thank you guys for supporting this show and supporting businesses like the Farmer's Daughter. Have an incredible day. Be good to each other, and we'll see you next time for a brand new episode. We did it. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
That was cool.
I thought at one point the rain was going to come up there.